Hello, friends. Welcome to CareersTalk. My name is Sunil Sharma, a senior consultant based in Netherlands, and I welcome you all along with my amazing team. We are continuing our business analyst live simulation series with the real project Lazada, a marketplace where people can buy various branded clothes. So the aim of this session is to provide you with some theory alongside a live session so you can gain practical experience and see how things work in a real project. So today our stakeholders have presented two burning issues and we will use process mapping and modeling technique to find solutions. And to help us, we have Samir, a senior business analyst who will be leading this session. So Samir, over to you.
Thank you, Sunant. Thanks for the platform. And hello and welcome, everyone. So first of all, as Sunant already mentioned, the agenda for today's session would be BPMN, or the process mapping. So we are going to go through an end-to-end process, how the BPMN happens, and of course, with two burning issues that the stakeholder has presented. So along with us on the screen, you can see all our stakeholders from the Lazada inventory department. So I really appreciate your time. So with that, I'm going to share my screen. You should be able to see my screen. Can someone please confirm?
Yes, we can see process mapping. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks, Anand. All right. So before we get into the problem statement and all, I think probably some of you might be hearing about the process mapping for the first time. So it's better that we discuss what exactly is the process mapping, what are the types, etc., right? So on my screen, so what is exactly process mapping is, so if I can explain in a very simple term, so it's a visual representation of a process which involves the different phases and that depicts that how the task, decision, and the activities flow from the start or the beginning to the end. So this can employ flowcharts, swim lane diagrams, and BPMN to define the role, responsibilities, and the process that is dependent. So for us, it will be more about the BPMN, but of course, there are other things like flowcharts and swim lane. We can also call them as a process mapping, but we are going to focus mostly on the BPMN part. So the next slide. Sorry, it seems like it's stuck. Are you still see my screen?
Yes, we can see. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So it was stuck. Okay. So then why the process mapping is essential? So first of all, it identifies the inefficiencies in your process that highlights the bottlenecks, redundancies, and what are the areas that could be a potential improvement. It also improves the understanding. That means it simplifies the complex workflows, making the process clear, and it is also easy to follow. At the same time, it also supports the optimization process, meaning it helps streamline the operation, reduce the cost, and also improve the performance. First thing is the flowchart that I mentioned. It's a simple or graphical representation which uses some shapes and arrows. It's a step-by-step process in form of a visual and graphical representation. And some of the key features are, it is simple and easy to interpret. It's widely used mostly for the simpler processes or documenting the workflows. And it also helps to identify the inefficiencies. The most use cases that we have seen across the industries are the recruitment industry, the manufacturing industries, where if the process is pretty straightforward, then flowchart could be a better option. The second one is the swim lane diagrams, which is mostly a process that divides into lanes for roles, teams, and department. And the key features, so the difference from the previous one is like it highlights the responsibility and the handoffs, visualize the cross-functional process pretty clearly, and also improves the accountability. The use cases where we see swim lane are pretty much useful are like onboarding, customer onboarding, mostly into the CRM space, IT issue resolution space, and procurement process. And on my screen, you can see that how it is divided into the different swim lane, like preparation phase, execution phase, and then is the final phase. Moving to the next is the BPMN, which is the business process model and notation, which is the focus for today. So this is a standardized notation for the detailed professional process diagram. So in a business process, what are the different steps that we execute starting from the beginning all the way to the end? step by step with the different notations. It makes easy for a business person who is probably from the non-technical background, and how we are going to execute it with the different notations, with some of the symbols that can include the events, activities, and also the gateways. So mostly to handle a complex process into a simple way of execution, this process is pretty useful. And it's widely used across industries, and because of its simplicity and also it is widely accepted, pretty easy tool which support multiple business line. Some of the very important use case could be your enterprise workflows, some compliance and automation process where we can show that how it's going to work from an event all the way the process is completed. So one of the pretty straightforward BPMN on my screen you can see as an example. Moving to the next, so if you are following our series for the last couple of sessions, then you might be aware by now that we are working for a simulation called Lazada Marketplace. And over the last few sessions, we have discussed with our various stakeholders. And now we understand that there are definitely some problems or some bottlenecks in their inventory department, which is why we have invited the stakeholders from the inventory department. And based on the discussions with the team members, what we see the most bottleneck comes from payment issues or payment failures, because the failed payments, of course, disturb the order processing, and a lot of increase happens in the drop-offs. The second one is the inventory delays, the out of stock issues, which continuously delays and also impacts the customer satisfaction. So these two are the bottlenecks that the inventory department has come up, and which is something we are going to or will try to solve today. And if I depict the current bottlenecks in form of a BPNN diagram, and which is what we call it as it is process. So you as an someone as an actor or an user place the order, which is what the order placed, and then at the current situation it checks the inventory. If the inventory is available, then yes, we process the payment, and we process the payment successful, then we prepare the order, we process the payments, and further the order gets completed. If the inventory is not available, out of stock, then there is nothing happens, meaning that we are potentially losing some business over here because it's out of stock. Nobody is aware until the time it happens, which is unfortunate. And at the same time, if you see the process at the payment step, if the payment is not successful and it keeps failing because of any reasons, which we are going to discuss in my subsequent slides, we don't even take any actions. So first, at the inventory side, we are losing customer confidence that sometimes even though they need something, they cannot get it. And at the same time, even if they get the things, if the payment gets failed, then it's still not a successful order. So for Lazada, this is kind of burning issues, which is really impacting the revenue side. And at the same time, to compete with the competitors, we are also losing the customer confidence. So this is something, the as it is process, we are going to solve, and how we are going to solve, I'm going to explain. Now, in order to solve this process, I need, as I mentioned, the stakeholders for today's call is the people who really working in the inventory department. We are going to go through the fishbone analysis part. So the fishbone analysis part is mostly, if you are, for the first time, if you are hearing about it, let me also explain you that what exactly is the fishbone analysis part. So first one is the fishbone diagram for the payment, because payment and inventory, these are the two subject we are going to talk. Then payment is the first one. It looks like a fishbone, right? So this is the fish head, and then you can see all the weight from the head to the fin. And then there are various category which we have divided, that under what are the category, there are potential chances that a payment can fail, or that could be a root cause for the payment failure. So one thing is people, then process, then technology, then customers. It could be with a bank or payment providers. And then the second part would be the external factor. The problem statement we always keep as the fish head, which is the payment failure. And each of the category, you can see that some of the blank sticky notes are there. And those blank sticky notes are nothing but, you have to think, I mean, when I say you, it is the stakeholder who are present in today's call. they will think about that how people as a category is responsible, or how what could be a potential root cause under the people category for the payment failures, and they are going to put some of the root cause under that category. Similarly, they have to think, it's something to call it as the 5 times or 5 why process, where they have to think about the problem statement under that specific category, and just drop down the thoughts under each of this category. The moment we have all this problem statement, we are going to come up with a solution. Again, it is from the same stakeholder. And when they come up with a solution, we are going to design the to be process, which will be the futuristic process, which might solve the problem. So we'll go step by step, but this is how the fishbone diagrams and analysis look like. Now I will welcome everyone to the Miro board, because Miro board is a collaborative tool where you have the same category that you see under the payment failures, like people, process, technology, customer, bank, and providers, and all, an external factor. So I would really encourage each one of you to think about the category, and also think about why part, or why it's happening. So all the yellow color sticky notes are mostly for the why part. So please put your thoughts on that. And the blue color one will be the solution, which will be discussed later. But let's first, I welcome all of you and ask that if you can put your thoughts that the why on the yellow part, right? So over to you guys. Please put your thoughts to all our stakeholders. Let's take a 5 minutes
Sure,
time, and let's collaborate all the ideas here. I see. Yeah, that's good. Arun has put that one. Great. Inventory we'll be talking later, but let's first focus the payment part.
Only payment part.
Yeah. Let's see. Kanu has also put. Manoj, good. Thank you. Just for everyone's awareness, the yellow color sticky notes are the problem statement, which something you have to fill in, and then we'll fill in the blue part, which would be the solutioning.
So Samir, I just want to add one thing for all our viewers. So you can see that only couple of people are filling the payment failure, because in that particular department also we have two sub departments. So these are the specific people who are working for payment part, and the rest of the people are going for the inventory part. So rest of the people will fill the inventory part later on, and all these people, Arun and yeah, Webaby and all, they are working on this payment part.
Yeah, and also Manoj is working in the payment side. Thanks, Sunan. Let's see, Anjali pretty much have filled in. Arun is also done. Kanu is doing. Okay, that's great. I see a lot of good inputs. Excellent.
Arun, you have to fill your name, otherwise it's difficult for Samir to
Yeah,
understand. Like,
yes, that's correct. So everyone, please fill in your name. I think I see Arun has done it. Kanu, you have also done it. Manoj, yes, I can see by maybe from you. And the people category, I see it's still ongoing. Kanu, if there's anything else you'd like to add on, or that's pretty much from your side and the customer segment. We'll take one more minute and then let's discuss or let's get into the solutioning part. But let's give one more minute to our stakeholder to fill in anything else they think about it.
can you make your screen a little bit big? Can you
Yeah,
increase the person?
is it visible
Yeah,
now?
yeah, this is better.
Okay, great. All right, I think we have some good inputs already under each category, that is people, process, technology, customers also we have here, bank and payments provider, external factors. Excellent. Thanks, everyone. Now, can I also request, because as these are the problem statement that you are thinking, which is happening at the current as it is process, so there could be some solution already in your mind, right, which can solve the existing problem. May I request all of you to also put your solution to each of the problem statement which you mentioned under each of this category, and then we discuss about it. So let's take another 3 to 4 minutes or 5 minutes, and please come up with the solution or the potential solution which you think of. Over to
Yes,
you guys.
sure. Thank you.
You. Okay, I see Arun has given his inputs. Anjali also has given his inputs. Uh, Maybe Arun, at the same time, as I see you have already filled in your inputs under the technology part, can I please ask you, like, if you can highlight one of the problem statement, Arun Mishra, and also the solution that you think is really crucial for the payment system to be stable. So Arun, over to you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Samir. So, Samir, one of the key things which I really find is missing or is a problem in on the technology front is our payment gateway. There is a lot of downtime and connectivity issues with our payment gateway. And I personally feel that it is very important that we have a robust payment gateway so that our payments go through and
Mhm.
our downtime is lowered to a very, very minimum extent.
Yeah, indeed. Payment gateway is really pretty challenging, and if you really have to ensure a stable one, the gateway is pretty important. Yeah, thanks for the valid point, Arun.
Yeah, welcome.
Um, yeah, and at the same time, maybe Anjali, one input from your side. If you, I think,
Yeah,
you've also done with your input, so if you can share some of your thoughts.
Yeah, sure, Samir. Thank you. Yes, so what I have seen in the process side is that the payment verification process is quite complex. It's very difficult to find the steps which are no longer required, or that can be deleted or omitted. So the process, we needs to really think through what is really, which steps are really required, so that we have a good or a simple, I would say, easy to go payment verification process. So this is the what I have written from my side, Samir. Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
great. Yeah, the lean management techniques, indeed, that could be a potential solution. Thanks, Anjali. Very valid point. Maybe next we go to, again, I see Arun from your side under people category, if you'd like to discuss or give you one of your input.
Now, from my side, what I feel is the customer support does not seem to have any training. So we need to set up some session where we train the people what they are going to do and give them the job. So I'm very worried about that one, and we need to do something about that.
Yeah, I mean, customer retention at the same time, happy customer service is the key to any success in this retail business. So valid point, Arun. Yeah, good insights. Kanu, over to you. I see you are also collaborating pretty well. So any inputs from your end under the customer segment, Kanu?
Yes, for my side, I have seen the first point which I've put is a failure to understand the payment instructions. So normally, what I've seen that many people don't understand how to do the payments, because there are many different types of payments which I've come across. Like there are online payments, the net banking, the other online payments as well as offline payments. So basically, the personally I feel that we should create a detailed FAQ and guides for
Mhm.
our customers to and send it to them and to help them, tell them to follow these guidelines for doing the payment accurately.
Yeah,
So
excellent
that
point.
is one thing.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
thanks.
A guideline would be kind of pretty handy for them to follow the right payment instructions and without getting any confused. Excellent.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Manoj, if you'd like to bring anything to the table.
Sure, Samir. Thank you.
Yeah.
So what I noticed, like payment related, like there are, I could notice limited support for from the payment gateways, right? For particular regions, certain regions, I could say, right? So that could be handled if we could cater specific regions with minimal geographical limitations. That could be a solution for this. That's what I used to think through. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So your point is more focused about that even though we put every gateway, everything is correct, but sometimes there are disruptions due to regional issues for certain regions. And
Exactly.
there could be a case that the sales are pretty high or the spike is high for that regions, but we are losing the business. Yeah, good point, Manoj. I
Thank you.
appreciate that. Vaibhavi, about the external factors.
Hey, hi Samir. Yes, so I'll like to talk about the regulatory constraints and compliance requirements.
Hmm.
So I think payments are delayed or blocked if we don't meet the specific requirements for foreign exchange or cross-border remittances, right? So I
Right.
think we need to update or we need to be updated on the local and international payment regulations, and we have to adjust our processes accordingly. So yeah,
Okay.
that's what I
Okay.
think. Yeah.
That's great. Okay. No, good insights, Vaibhavi. All right. Okay. So now that you all have given your thoughts, what are the challenges or what are the problems, and what could be a potential solution, and we also hear from each one of you that why you think this solution would be is important, and that could how it's going to solve our current problem, right? Now we are going to have a, dot voting. If you are aware, that's well and good. If not, then the dot voting are the one where I will welcome each one of you to put against each of those problem that you see here. And if you think that if we solve one of those problems, then it's just like 20% of the problem if we solve, that can resolve 80% of the issues at the current state. So please find out two of the critical items or two of the critical problems which we should really act on a very pragmatic way and should be taken utmost care and utmost priority. So over to you guys, if you can put your dot coding against two of the critical items under payment failures. It can be across any category like payment, process, technology, but yeah, over to you.
All right. Thank you. Everyone should participate on this, right?
Yes, yes. Please feel free. I see some good thoughts. Okay. It's so happy to see this collaboration between our stakeholders. A lot of that means this is a real burning situations and everyone is pretty proactive to solve the problem. So we really appreciate your involvement in this process. Right, let me resize the dots a bit so that we know what exactly is the problem. All right, so quite some problem coming towards the limited support under bank and payment. Cool. There are two more. Okay, last 1 minute before we come off or discuss the ones. I see one under process. Well, one under external factors. Okay. Right. Okay, so it's time to deep dive and see what most of our stakeholders think is a pretty important or burning subject. So the maximum number of votes that we have received under technology, the payment gateway downtime or connectivity issues, which just Arun Mishra explained, and what could be a potential solution that has got the maximum dot voting. And next to that, if I go through across all these issues, under the bank and payment providers category, we have the limited support from payment gateways for certain regions. That is the regional constraints that Manoj just explained in a very detailed way. So those are the two subjects that our stakeholders think are pretty important and which should be prioritized to be solved at the earliest. Okay, great. So we are going to take these two items as part of our to-be process that we are going to discuss. But before we get into the to-be process final way of implementation, let's take the another problem, which is most about the inventory delays. So we are done with the payment failures. So thank you everyone for your participation. Now let's come to the inventory delays. So like the way you did for the payment, can I all request all of you to put your problem statement in the yellow sticky notes, followed by the solution in the blue sticky notes. But let's start the yellow one first. So 2 minutes or probably 3 minutes, please everyone, if you can participate. Great. I see already real nice comments are coming on the way. People, process, technology. supplier, environmental materials. You see, most of people have already written down the problem statement, which is really good to see. Good going. Okay, so those who have done with writing your problem statement, maybe you can also put the potential solution to it in the blue sticky note, and then we take a minute or so to discuss about the problem as well as the solution part. So over to you, if you want to write down the solution in the blue sticky note, please start. I see, Vaibhavi, you have pretty much done on your side. I see there are some real quite nice points. So, Vaibhavi, would you like to take a moment and let us know about your thoughts, like what is the more pressing issues and what are the solutions that you are thinking that could improve the one? Because you are the one, you are one of our key stakeholder working on the inventory for quite some time. So, over to you, Vaibhavi.
Yeah, thank you, Samir. Okay, so one of the main problems that I think is the incorrect or delayed stock replenishments. See, because of this, what is happening is that it can lead to, out of stock issues or overselling or even dissatisfaction with the customers. So hence, I think that we need to implement a solution that will automatically monitor and manage inventory levels without requiring the manual updates. Okay, so the system should continuously update the inventory levels as the items are sold or returned or even restocked, ensuring the data is always accurate and current. Okay, so the goal here, I think, is to streamline the inventory process, minimize human errors, and ensure that the customers can always find what they need in stock. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, nice explanation. It is more about ensuring like at any point of time, we are not losing any potential customer because of the stock is not
Right.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, very valid one. Thanks, Vaibhavi. I also see Ramya, you have also done on your side. So would you like to discuss, Ramya?
Yes, Samir. Thanks for that. So basically, I want to emphasize on the inventory management system, which has been very slow and very old. So what is happening is that, there are new technologies that have come like cloud management systems, where we can automatically, it is very fast, it is scalable, and it automatically updates the real-time stock as well. So it will help all the channels, like there are different kinds of channels, like there are stores, there are online things, there are websites, there are different kinds of applications if it exists. Then every kind of sales channel that is visible to the customer has to be aligned on the same stocks. It should not be like, in the website it is something and in the app it is something else, and then actually in the physical store it is something else. this is not good, and there's high probability for the mismanagement of stocks or the outdated stocks. So it is very
Yeah.
important for us, to have all the sales channels to be aligned. So the inventory management system should be very robust and should be very quick and fast. And the new technologies like the cloud-based ones will help in the real-time inventory management.
Great. So it is at the same time just move out of the legacy system and make it a cloud integration so that at least the inventory management should go smoothly rather than just doing a manual things every day in and day out, right? So from the technology aspect, very valid point, Ramya. Thank you. Thanks so much for that. Moving on then, Sachin, from the people category, pretty much done with your problem statement and also solution.
Yeah. So
Sachin, over to
Samir,
you.
what happened? If you see like there are a lot of issues like lack of training also there, some with the inventory management, miscommunication between warehouses also. But major what I feel, insufficient staffing during the peak period is that is the most challenging part because when seasonal come that time we saw like there is usually manpower is not available. And what I feel about that, like if you'll do some analytical things about that, like so we can hire at least temporary basis some contractors or some people so at least we can fulfill that demanded level of requirement.
Perfect. Yeah, yeah. Makes sense. If we need more people on a certain peak period, we really have to have that one. Thanks, Sachin. Then I think Soumya, on your side, you have put all some points in the process. Would you like to take one thing, Soumya?
Yeah, hi Samir, hi everyone. So, in my point of view, there should be a standard operations of procedures, and they should be easily accessible also. So, employees keep on changing, so they should be given regular trainings, and all the trainings, when are they given, they should be regularly updated. These SOPs should be kept at an easily accessible place, and training should be given how they should be accessed. Or the employees are updating with the trainings,
Yeah,
etc. So I feel this is very key to avoid these inventory delays.
yeah, from an operation standpoint. Yeah, valid point. And that would eventually improve the process. Thank you, Soumya. Then Ramya, we have taken your input, Vaibhavi as well. That's very nice. Arun Mishra, from an environment point of view, please, can you put your thoughts?
Yeah. So, Samir, we are not leveraging the power of predictive analytics and forecasting at all in our environment, in our setup. So that is what I'm emphasizing here through my points, because there have been disruptions due to external factors, and there have also been demand spikes during certain seasons or during in certain regions or in certain geographies.
Hmm.
So leveraging analytics would definitely help us out.
Perfect. Okay. Yes, that also helps, and indeed very valid point. Arun, thanks so much. And last but not least, Anjali, I see you have put 3 points under the material category, which you see potential improvement. Over to you, Anjali.
Yes, Samir, thanks. So I would correlate with suppliers, and accordingly, I have, jotted those 3 points. So one which is like inaccurate, the accounts of the stocks. That is, it could be possible due to the suppliers, and also because of this defective or damaged goods, which is slowing down the fulfillments. And last, the third, the major one, which I personally feel is the mismatch of this labeling categorization. So if we have, a proper standardized labeling system, that will really help, which will minimize this issue of the material. It will help in a, like for example, having a barcode.
Yeah,
This is something which is very standardized, used for all the materials, so it will help to really keep a track and count of the good, I would say, the materials. So this is what I have felt for this inventory side, Samir.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
thanks.
Nice. I mean, the RFID technology is I mean, emerging technologies, and it is high time for Lazada also to adapt to that one. So,
Exactly. Yeah,
important points. And
thanks.
all right, and yeah, so thanks all for your active participation. So now, as you have heard from everyone about your problem statement, what are the possible solutions we are talking about? Can I request all of you to start with dot voting, and then we talk about the most priority subject which we need to really focus in our 2B process. Over to you. A minute or so, please put your dot points. Good going. I see a lot of people have already started. That's great. Okay. Pretty much everyone's is under the affirmation that technology is really plays a crucial role. All right. We'll wait for the final verdict, what all of you think about. So one more minute before we see the final result, which is the topmost one.
Samir, could you share the screen, please?
Sorry?
Could you share the screen there,
Yeah.
my robot?
Okay. Do you see my screen or not?
We can see your screen, Samir. No problem.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, Sunan. All right, that's great. So we are in a state now where I see, I think every one of you have already voted. And if I just go from left to right, under people, we have one vote, not that much. Process, also one vote, which is okay. But under technology, everyone is under the impressions that the outdated inventory management software should be really upgraded. We should get out of the legacy system, move more into a cloud-based real-time inventory management system, which was the point from Ramya. Excellent. And also under the supplier, we have 4 votes, which is the input from 𝐻𝐻, that incorrect and delayed stock is really causing an issues where people really want to buy that, but they don't have the stock because of the delayed stock replacement. So that is also a point. Under the environment, not a massive one. Under material, we have 2 votes, one for inaccurate stock and another for mismatch inventory. All right. So if I summarize the things for you, then technology and suppliers, we have the maximum number of dot votes, and the one which we are going to work on is the outdated inventory and the incorrect or delayed stock replacement, right? So I thank you all for your time and also the great collaborations that you presented in terms of the problem, the solution, also moving the dot vote part. Before we go to the 2B process, as I just showed you the fishbone diagram before sharing the Miro board, I would really like to let you know that the way we put the fishbone diagram. So as you can see that, for example, we are in the fishbone diagram for payment. So under that, this was the Miro board. So one of the point from Arun, for example, it was like payment gateway, right? So how we do it, we put that we copy that one. So under technology, we go here, and then in one of the problem statement, we put like this. And similar way, if we go here, let's say for process from Anjali, it was the complex payment, and we go over here, and under the process, we put like this. So it is more about that each of those category, what are the problem statement that the stakeholders think, and we put under that. And then we do a brainstorming, which we already did. And then we finally go to the 2B process. So in order to save some time, I have already did that as part of your in our PPT. So just to make you aware, this is how the final output or PPT looks like, or the from the fishbone analysis looks like for the payment failures. And also this one is the for the inventory delays. Now let's come to the 2B process, which is really important, because we have got the relevant input from our stakeholder, like what is the important one. I have also jotted down. So one is for the technology, the payment gateway. Second one is the limited support that we are getting under the bank and payment provider.
Samir, can you go to the Miro board and just explain those
Sure.
four final one? Yes, this
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
the final one is here. So one is under the payments, we are getting this one, the technology part, payment gateway downtime and connectivity issues. And the second one is the limited support, which has got the maximum vote, which is here. If I can maximize my screen, the limited support. And then under the inventory part, we have under technology, again, the outdated inventory management process, and then under supplier, the incorrect and delayed stock. So there are 4 improvements that we are thinking, or our stakeholders are thinking, should be done in our 2B process. That's where the BPMN process comes into picture, and to have it in a more visual way, I have used a tool called draw.io. There are multiple tools in the market, but draw.io is a more efficient and professional tooling that we all of you use. So you can see, as you discovered, there are 4 things should be improved from the as it is to the to be process. That's exactly what I have highlighted here. One thing is the real-time inventory check. So if I explain you that I'm a user, I put the order and the order got placed, then Lazada's inventory is going to have a real-time inventory check in a cloud-based system. That's what you just put an opinion there. And then it's going to check whether the inventory is available or not. If the inventory is available, yes, then we are going to process the payment. If it is not available, then we are going to order from the warehouse. Based on that one, based on the predictive analysis, that was also one of the input from a stakeholder. Based on the predictive analysis, we are going to refill or restock that one and move it back to the user so that they can reorder that one and the process will go. So that's the improvement from an inventory standpoint. One is the real-time checks. Second one, use the predictive analysis to restock the already finished item. From a payment point of view, if you see the inventory is already available, we are processing the payment. If the payment is getting successful, then we are preparing the order, moving to the warehouse, delivering the order, and making the order as completed. Happy flow. But if the payment is not successful, that's where the challenge coming up at the current situation. And our stakeholder mentioned that we need to have a robust payment gateway. So one of the improvement that's been highlighted from a payment point of view, that we should partner with the robust payment gateway providers with a track record of maximum uptime and very low downtime. And once we partner that one, then we are again going to see that if maximum numbers of payments are now passing or is it getting successful. There could be like out of 100, 90s are successful, but 10 are getting failed due to regional restrictions. I think Arun, it was from your point. You see this as a challenge. There, we are also bringing one more improvement that choose the payment gateway that cater to the specific regional needs, which can minimize the geographic limitations. And all those 100% of payment should get through to the payment gateways. Once this is done, then if the payment gateway, the regional restrictions are now over, the payment is getting successful, we are going to place the order, multi-warehouse shipping, then deliver the order, and we are going to complete that order. So the 4 improvements, 2 for inventory, 2 for payments, is really going to make Lazada's life easy. And we are also going to gain the customer confidence. And at the same time, it's really going to help to have a sustainable business with maximum profitability as well. So that's how the BPMN process goes on. So we discovered a problem statement, we analyzed with the help of our stakeholder what could be the improvements. At the same time, at the end, we also presented that how their input we are going to implement in our upcoming PBI executions. But this is the flow we are going to follow as per the priority defined by our stakeholder. Now, my final input here would be, I would really like to showcase as well to you. This is the to be process, which I just explained. So what are the benefits we are going to get in one liner? One would be the compliance and risk mitigations, enhanced operational efficiency, customer experience will be improved, revenue, definitely if your payments are really high, more number of users are hitting to the payment gateway, your revenue will get increased. Inventory bottleneck will be reduced because you are doing a cloud-based real-time inventory checks, and the scalability of your process will really go to the maximum level, which can also bring more business to Lazada. With that, I think that's pretty much for the content of this session. So thank you so much, everyone, for your participations and also your inputs. I really appreciate that. And with that note, I move it back to Sunil. Over to you, Sunil.
Okay, thank you, Samir. Okay, yes, we all are back. So thank you, Samir, for conducting this session, and thank you to everyone for participating and keeping it engaging. And to all our business analyst friends, we hope you found this session valuable. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. And we look forward to see you in our next session very soon. Until then, take care. This is Sunil Sharma along with my CareersTalk team signing off. Goodbye and thank you, everyone.